the little couple have exciting new reasons to celebrate because Jen Arnold has officially shared major podcast news that's getting a lot of attention online. After years of inspiring viewers through television, personal challenges, and family moments, Jen is now stepping into a brand new chapter, and fans are eager to hear everything she has to say. The announcement quickly sparked excitement across social media, especially among longtime followers who have continued supporting Jen and her family even after the little couple stopped airing regularly on television. Many viewers say they've missed hearing updates from Jen, Bill, Will, and Zoe, making this podcast news feel extra special. As soon as the announcement appeared online, fan reactions started pouring in immediately. One supporter commented, "I would listen to anything Jen talks about." Another wrote, "This is exactly what fans needed. We've missed her voice and positivity." And honestly, that reaction isn't surprising considering how beloved Jen Arnold has remained over the years. For many fans, Jen represents much more than just a reality TV personality. Throughout The Little Couple, viewers watched her balance an incredibly demanding medical career, while also navigating motherhood, marriage, international adoption, and major health struggles. Her openness, intelligence, and calm personality made her one of the most respected figures in reality television. That's why this podcast announcement feels like such a meaningful next step. According to fans discussing the news online, many believe the podcast could finally give Jen a space to speak more deeply about topics that television never fully explored. Reality shows often focus on edited moments and quick storylines, but podcasts allow people to share longer conversations, personal experiences, and honest reflections in a much more relaxed way. And viewers are already wondering what kinds of topics Jen may cover. Some fans hope she'll discuss parenting, family life, and raising children in today's world. Others are especially interested in hearing about her medical experiences, motivational advice, and the life lessons she's learned over the years. A lot of viewers also believe Jen's natural communication style makes her perfect for podcasting. Unlike many reality stars who thrive on drama and controversy, Jen built her fan base through authenticity and positivity. Fans often describe her as calming, thoughtful, and relatable, qualities that many people say are ideal for long-form conversations. One fan wrote, "Jen has one of those voices you actually want to listen to." Another commented, "She always explains things in such a smart but comforting way." The announcement also sparked bigger conversations about the future of former TLC stars moving into digital media platforms, like podcasts, YouTube, and streaming content. As traditional reality television changes, many personalities are finding new ways to stay connected directly with fans without relying entirely on network television. And according to many viewers, Jen seems like someone who could succeed very naturally in that space. Interestingly, some fans think the podcast may also provide updates about family life that viewers have been curious about for years. Since the little couple became less active on television, supporters have continued following the family online, always eager for new milestones involving Will and Zoe. Fans are especially curious about how much the children have grown and what life looks like for the family today. Others believe the podcast could give Jen an opportunity to talk openly about challenges she's faced behind the scenes, including balancing public attention with private family life. Over the years, the family experienced enormous public support, but reality TV fame also brings pressure that audiences don't always see. That's another reason fans are so interested in hearing her perspective in a podcast format. Unlike television interviews, podcasts often allow for more emotional honesty and deeper storytelling, and many viewers feel Jen has a lot of wisdom and experiences worth sharing. Meanwhile, social media discussions about the announcement continue growing. On Facebook fan pages, viewers are already debating possible guest appearances, future topics, and whether Bill could appear regularly alongside Jen. Some fans even hope the podcast could eventually become a full family project, involving stories from all 4 members of the household. One fan commented, "I'd love hearing Jen and Bill talk together again." Another wrote, "This could honestly become bigger than the TV show." At the same time, some viewers are simply happy to see Jen continuing to evolve professionally and creatively after so many years in the spotlight. Many supporters say they admire how she constantly finds new ways to educate, inspire, and connect with people while remaining true to herself. And now, fans are starting to wonder if this podcast announcement could be just the beginning of an even bigger new chapter for Jen Arnold. As excitement surrounding Jen Arnold's podcast announcement continues growing, fans are becoming even more curious about what this new project could actually reveal. Many longtime viewers believe the podcast may finally offer a more personal side of Jen that audiences rarely got to fully experience on television. During the years The Little Couple aired, fans saw carefully edited moments of family life, emotional milestones, travel adventures, and everyday challenges. But reality television only shows part of the story. That's why supporters think podcasting could allow Jen to speak more openly and naturally than ever before. And honestly, many fans believe that's exactly what people have been waiting for. One of the biggest discussions online right now involves the possible direction of the podcast itself. Some viewers think Jen may focus heavily on motivational topics and life experiences. Others believe medical discussions, parenting advice, and personal growth conversations could become central parts of the show. Because of Jen's unique background, fans feel she has a perspective very few public figures can offer. She's not only a reality TV personality, she's also a highly respected medical professional, a mother, an advocate, and someone who has faced enormous personal challenges publicly. Over the years, fans watched her handle difficult moments with incredible calmness and resilience, which is one reason audiences continue admiring her today. Many viewers especially remember the emotional period when Jen openly discussed her cancer diagnosis and recovery journey. During that time, supporters across the country rallied around her family, inspired by her strength and positivity even during extremely difficult circumstances. Now, some fans believe the podcast may provide deeper reflections on those life experiences. One supporter wrote online, "Jen has been through so much, and I think hearing her full story would help a lot of people." Another commented, "She always turns hard situations into something hopeful." At the same time, viewers are also wondering whether the podcast could include behind-the-scenes stories from the little couple itself. Reality TV fans are naturally curious about what life was really like during filming, how the family handled sudden fame, and whether there were challenges viewers never saw on camera. Podcasts often create a relaxed atmosphere where guests and hosts share details much more casually than in traditional interviews. That possibility alone has many fans extremely excited. Some viewers are even hoping Jen may address questions fans have had for years regarding the future of the little couple. Although the family remains beloved, the show's reduced presence on television left many supporters wondering whether they would ever see regular updates again. For those fans, this podcast feels almost like a reunion. Social media conversations have also focused heavily on Jen and Bill's relationship, which many viewers still consider one of the strongest and most genuine marriages in reality television. Fans frequently praise the couple for maintaining humor, teamwork, and emotional support throughout years of public attention. Because of that, many listeners are hoping Bill will appear often on the podcast. One fan commented, "Jen and Bill together always made the show special." Another wrote, "Their conversations were honestly my favorite part of the series." Meanwhile, others are especially interested in hearing updates about Will and Zoe, who have grown up tremendously since viewers first met them. Fans who followed the family from the beginning feel emotionally connected to the children and remain curious about their lives, personalities, and future goals. Some supporters think Jen may intentionally use the podcast to share more thoughtful parenting insights as her children continue getting older. And there's another reason this announcement matters so much to fans. In recent years, many reality TV viewers have become exhausted by negativity, scandals, and constant online drama. That's why supporters say Jen Arnold's return to the spotlight feels refreshing compared to much of today's entertainment culture. Fans often describe her as intelligent, compassionate, and uplifting qualities they feel are increasingly rare in reality television spaces. One viewer wrote, "Jen brings positivity without feeling fake." Another commented, "The world honestly needs more voices like hers right now." As excitement keeps building, some fans are already predicting the podcast could attract audiences far beyond just TLC viewers. Because Jen's experiences connect to topics like family, resilience, medicine, disability awareness, and overcoming adversity, many believe the show could resonate with a much wider audience. And if the early reactions online are any indication, interest in the project is only continuing to grow. But now, fans are starting to ask an even bigger question. Could this podcast announcement eventually lead to something much larger than anyone expected? As anticipation around Jen Arnold's podcast continues growing, many fans now believe this project could become far bigger than a simple online show. In fact, some viewers think this may mark the beginning of an entirely new era for Jen and her connection with audiences around the world. The response to the announcement has already been incredibly emotional. Longtime fans say hearing news from Jen again reminds them why The Little Couple became such an important series for so many people. Unlike many reality shows built around conflict and controversy, Jen and her family gained popularity because viewers saw kindness, resilience, humor, and genuine love. That emotional connection clearly hasn't disappeared. Across social media, supporters continue sharing memories from old episodes while expressing excitement for what comes next. Some fans say the podcast feels almost comforting, like reconnecting with someone they've known for years. One fan wrote, "Jen always made people feel hopeful." Another commented, "I honestly trust her perspective more than most people online." And that trust could become one of the podcast's greatest strengths. Many listeners believe Jen's ability to speak calmly and thoughtfully about difficult topics may help her stand out in today's crowded podcast world. While many internet personalities rely on shock value and constant drama for attention, fans expect Jen's approach to feel more meaningful and authentic. That difference is exactly why some people believe the podcast could attract a surprisingly large audience. Supporters are already speculating about future guests, possible collaborations, and even live speaking opportunities connected to the show. Some think Jen could eventually expand into educational content, motivational interviews, or health-related discussions that go far beyond reality television. Others believe the podcast may help introduce her story to an entirely new generation of viewers who never watched The Little Couple during its original run. And interestingly, some fans think this new platform could actually give Jen more freedom than television ever did. Reality TV episodes are heavily edited and designed around network schedules, storylines, and ratings. Podcasts, however, allow creators to control conversations much more directly. That freedom could allow Jen to discuss topics with greater honesty and depth while avoiding many of the limitations that come with traditional television production. Fans are especially curious whether she'll address personal lessons learned from years in the public eye. Living under constant attention can be incredibly challenging, especially while balancing professional responsibilities and raising children. Yet throughout it all, viewers often admired how grounded Jen remained despite enormous pressure. That's why many supporters feel her experiences could genuinely inspire others navigating difficult situations in their own lives. Meanwhile, speculation continues growing about whether this podcast could eventually reconnect the entire family with audiences in a much bigger way. Some fans believe successful podcast episodes could open doors for streaming specials, digital series, interviews, or even a possible return to television in some form. While there's no official confirmation of anything beyond the podcast itself, viewers are already imagining countless possibilities. One supporter commented, "I'd absolutely watch a family update special." Another wrote, "This feels like the beginning of something bigger." At the same time, many fans say they're simply grateful to hear Jen's voice again in any format. For years, The Little Couple offered viewers not only entertainment, but also meaningful representation, emotional storytelling, and positive family dynamics rarely seen elsewhere on television. Fans believe Jen helped create that atmosphere through her intelligence, compassion, and calm leadership within the family. And now, through podcasting, supporters think she may be able to continue inspiring people in an even more personal way. Of course, plenty of questions still remain unanswered. What topics will the podcast focus on most? Will Bill and the children appear regularly? Could Jen discuss behind-the-scenes stories fans have never heard before? And how much of her personal life will she choose to share moving forward? Right now, fans are eagerly waiting for those answers. But one thing already seems very clear. Excitement surrounding Jen Arnold's podcast announcement is absolutely real, and supporters are more than ready to follow her into this new chapter. Whether the podcast becomes a simple way to reconnect with fans or grows into something much larger, audiences seem thrilled that Jen is once again stepping into the spotlight on her own terms. And judging by the reaction online so far, this may only be the beginning of a very exciting new journey for the Little Couple star. So, what do you think about Jen Arnold's podcast announcement? Are you excited to hear her stories, life advice, and family updates in a more personal format? And do you think this project could eventually lead to an even bigger comeback for the beloved TLC family? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more TLC news and reality TV updates. Fans of The Little Couple were left deeply concerned after Jen Arnold recently shared a health update, following what she described as a scary surgery. The news immediately sparked emotional reactions across social media, with longtime supporters flooding comment sections with messages of love, prayers, and encouragement for the beloved reality TV star. For many viewers, hearing the words "scary surgery" connected to Jen Arnold instantly brought back memories of the difficult health battles she has faced in the past. Over the years, fans have admired Jen not only for her role on television, but also for the incredible strength and resilience she has shown through personal challenges. That's why this latest update quickly became a major topic among fans of The Little Couple. As details about the surgery started spreading online, many supporters became anxious to know exactly how Jen was doing. Fortunately, according to the update she shared, Jen appeared focused on recovery while remaining positive despite the frightening experience. Still, the situation clearly shook both fans and followers emotionally. One supporter commented, "Jen has already been through so much. I'm praying for a smooth recovery." Another wrote, "She's one of the strongest people on television, but hearing scary surgery is terrifying for fans too." And honestly, those reactions are understandable. Throughout her years in the public eye, Jen Arnold has become far more than just a TLC personality. Fans respect her deeply because of the way she has balanced her medical career, motherhood, public life, and serious health struggles with grace and determination. Many viewers especially remember the emotional period when Jen openly shared her cancer diagnosis years ago. During that difficult chapter, audiences watched her continue working, caring for her family, and remaining positive even while facing enormous uncertainty. Because of that history, any health-related update involving Jen naturally causes concern among fans. Social media quickly filled with emotional responses after the latest news broke. Facebook groups dedicated to The Little Couple became flooded with supportive messages, while fans on Instagram and TikTok began discussing Jen's update nonstop. Some viewers said they felt genuinely emotional reading about the surgery because they followed Jen's journey for so many years. One fan wrote, "It feels like hearing bad news about someone you actually know." Another commented, "Jen has inspired people through some incredibly hard moments." At the same time, many supporters praised Jen for continuing to be transparent about her experiences. Fans often say one reason they admire her so much is because she has never pretended life was perfect. Instead, she has consistently approached challenges with honesty, realism, and optimism. That openness has helped viewers feel deeply connected to her story. And according to many fans, her latest update once again showed that same strength. While Jen reportedly described the surgery as frightening, supporters noticed she still appeared focused on healing and gratitude afterward. That mindset inspired many followers, who praised her ability to remain hopeful even during stressful circumstances. Of course, some fans are also wondering whether the surgery could impact her professional life or future projects moving forward. In recent years, supporters have remained eager for updates about Jen, Bill, Will, and Zoe, especially since The Little Couple has not maintained the same television presence it once had. Because of that, fans closely follow every public update involving the family. Now, many people are simply hoping Jen takes all the time she needs to recover fully. Several supporters emphasized online that health should come before everything else, encouraging her to focus on rest and healing rather than public appearances or work responsibilities. Meanwhile, discussions surrounding the surgery have also sparked broader conversations about the pressures public figures face when sharing personal health information online. Some fans pointed out that while audiences naturally care about Jen, constantly discussing someone's medical situation can become overwhelming. Others argued,